I don't even see any like that in the SWIC database here either. So you're not a SEAL. Are you? Let me, dude. Are you entitled to wear that SEAL trident?
No.
No. Did you just say no?
I served, sir.
But you can clearly see that he is versed at some of this shit, and he will try. That's what they do. They just try to spin you around. Naval Security Group. What the fuck is that? It has nothing to do with SEALs or SEAL team. Spin you around, spin you around, spin you around, spin you around. Just get off of this and try to get something else. You know, hey, fucking shit. I couldn't believe that dumb shit didn't know who I was. If you're that good of a phony and you don't know who I am and you would just spout off some shit like that, oh boy, you fucking suck. You're a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. And these guys we just lost in Somalia still has our fucking heads reeling from these wars that are going on. We just lost the 3 soldiers with that fucking drone, and it's just the world's blowing up, and we're going to be forced into another war. And we're going to get a whole nother group of guys like you screaming at the VA for all your disability fucking payments. And claim and seal, get some accolades, get your free meal at fucking Arby's every day, year on Veterans Day. You guys suck. Fuck you. What's going on?
A buddy here you can talk to.
Oh, let me. A shipmate of mine.
Hold on. Here he is. Hello?
Hey, who's this?
This is Vern.
Vernon. Were you the Navy guy Erica's talking about?
Yeah, I'm the Navy guy. That's
me. Oh, well. Another one here. Wife was in the Navy, son-in-law, whole big Navy family.
Cool. Like it.
What'd you do?
What did I do?
Yeah, what were you?
I was with Special Warfare. I was with the teams for almost 20 years.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, how about that? How'd you get interested in something that extreme?
Just luck, I guess.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
No, I went in 93, and that's pretty much absolutely loved every minute of it. So.
I'll bet. And how long did you serve?
Almost 20. I didn't quite make it to my 20 because we had an op go sideways. So they ended up putting me back together, and I got my retirement, and that's made it to just under 19 years.
Oh, my. Well, that's, when I hear something like that, going sideways with what you were doing, I can only imagine. So, well, thanks. Thanks a lot. I'm always up for a good war story.
Well, it's a privilege to serve, and miss it a lot. But
yeah, so did I. I beat you out just a little bit. I did 24. I met my wife in the Navy. She got pregnant with our son. She was one of the first women on Navy ships. She was a bosun mate too.
Wow.
Prettiest bosun mate in the Navy, I'll tell you that.
Yep. I bet.
What team did you serve on?
I actually started with Team 3, and then after 9/11, was with Joint Special Ops Command.
Oh, were you kicking, what do they call it, kicking doors with joint operations, or was that kind of a shore duty type of thing?
No, it wasn't shore duty. It was I was on a direct action team with JSOC until I finished up.
Oh, wow. Wow. Was it a joint billing? Were there other guys there? Air Force, Marines, any Army?
Actually, well, the answer is yes. We had a combination of different, throughout from 9/11 until 2014. There were some different configurations, but my last run, we had 2 Delta A guys, and our combat medic was a pararescue combat medic, and then the rest of us were frogs.
I'll be damned. I'll be damned. How big was the group of you guys? I mean, what did you went on operate? Eric was telling me something about Yemen.
I've been a lot of places. So, yeah, my AOR was pretty much all over the Middle East, Northern Africa, and spent some time in the Central America as well, doing some counter drug stuff.
Well, hopefully you got a little downtime from shore duty. Did you take any shore duty in all that time?
Oh yeah. Whenever we were in the Middle East, we got some time. We'd head to Bali or Thailand or Malaysia somewhere and just kind of chill for a week or two whenever we could. And whenever we were up and down in Central America, we got to Costa Rica a couple times, and so can't complain.
Oh my. Did you get any decent awards out of your time?
Well, I received some pretty good accolades, and that's, it wasn't about that. It was about the service, but some people just really, I guess, thought I did a pretty good job, and the team did a good job, and the unit did a good job, and they showed their appreciation for that. But
oh wow,
that is what it is.
Officer, enlisted guy.
Actually, I was enlisted for 7 years, and then after 9/11, I got my commission.
Oh wow! What'd you ultimately get out as?
I wrapped her up at a lieutenant, is all. So.
Oh my! Well, that's no small feat. Enlisted to a lieutenant. I feel bad just being a silly senior chief, but yeah. How about that? Great. When I was talking to Eric, he mentioned his friend was a SEAL, and can you tell me what SEAL training class you went through?
Yeah, on 193, actually, I was just out there. I took my wife to the command over Thanksgiving, and we got to go to Spec War Command out in Coronado, and we spent a week out there, and she got to go see the boys getting ready for Hell Week, and they had 2 weeks before they were getting ready to run it, and my wife, I never thought she'd be able to have an opportunity to do that, but we were able to get on the command and spent the whole day there. It was awesome.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah.
Did you graduate a big class?
No, not real large. I think there were 18 of us.
Mm-hmm. I don't, Vernon, I'm not seeing your name listed under 193. Do you know when that class graduated? What year?
94.
Name anybody in that class?
Chuck Hansen?
You want to try another one?
No, sir.
Not anybody else? You don't remember any of those guys?
Of course.
How about somebody? I'll just tell you, I'm retired SEAL Don Shipley, and when I talked to Eric, he mentioned he had a SEAL friend, and I checked this SEAL database, and I was I don't see that guy.
Yeah. No, sir, I was.
In fact, I don't see you even in the SWIC database, because I read your bio that said Special Operations, and I thought, well, guys wordsmith this shit up a little bit. I'll check the SWIC database, because, it's either SEAL, SWIC if they want to play that Special Operations thing.
Special Boat Unit 12, Delta, is who I was deployed with. I was with the Naval Security Group Command out of Coronado. And Lieutenant Commander Howe was my SEAL commander in charge of the deployments.
And this was in 94.
This was I went in 94.
Mm-hmm.
And those deployments were 96, end of 96, 97.
You remember when that class graduated? If you went in 94, do you remember the month it graduated?
Well, 94, I was in boot camp.
So you
97 is when I had my deployment with Lieutenant Commander Howe. Mm-hmm. And was with Team 3 and SWIC Unit 12, Delta.
Now, none of that makes sense.
Joe Riffey was my chief. Joe Riffey was my chief. and Lieutenant Mills was my lieutenant commander.
Is that Mills the perfect push-up guy?
The perfect push-up. He was out of Annapolis. He was quite the athlete. As far as perfect push-ups, I'm not sure about that.
I think I served at Team 2 with Mills. He started the perfect push-up. These are names that are off of the internet. You can't name anybody else you went through SEAL training class 193?
Joe Riffey is not off the internet. Lieutenant Commander Howell is not off the internet.
What's his Howell's first name? I went through Buds with a Gardner Howell. He's a flippin' admiral now. But I don't remember that. Can you name anybody else you went through 193 with?
Master Chief Pullion was...
Pete Pullion. I know Pete Pullion real well. He's a big son of a bitch.
Yes, he is.
No, I'm not saying that. How about the Buds class here? We'll get to that. Let me get off 193 because... no, anybody else in 193? Heck, 193 graduated in June, 24 June 1994, when you said you were just joining the Navy.
That is correct.
But you were...
So...
You weren't in 193?
I went in on a direct enlisted contract.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Great Mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I went from there to my A school, and then I went to Naval Special Warfare and Naval Security Group.
Naval
Security Group. And that's where I was assigned to. I went through training with Team 3. Like I said, Lieutenant Commander Howell was my commander. His office was located at the SWIC base, was across the street at the Amphib base.
Uh-huh.
My chief was SWIC, was...
Why do you keep bringing up SWIC if you said you were a SEAL? What's that got to do with anything?
I was attached to both. I was with Naval Security Group Command. I was with Team 3 and went through training with Team 3, and I also deployed and was with SWIC.
When you graduated SEAL training and the commanding officer called you up and handed you your orders and shook your hands and you saluted him back, what were your orders to?
My orders that I received were for Naval Security Group activity, Coronado, California, where then I was assigned to SWIC and I was assigned to Team 3 at Naval Special Warfare Command.
Why would they put you through Navy SEAL training? 6 months of the toughest military training in the world, only to shake your hand and assign you to some command that's not even affiliated with Naval Special Warfare.
Actually, Naval Security Group is attached directly to Naval Special Warfare, and that's how I was deployed. I was a man-pack intelligence SIGINT operator that deployed directly with the teams and was SWIC.
Okay.
That was my job.
I'm starting to buy some of this because I saw...
Through that, I went through training. I got all my weapons training. I went through training with the teams. I went through the training with SWIC, with the boats. And I went through SEER with them. I don't know what else to tell you, sir. I mean,
I saw something that you were a CT.
Yeah, I'm a CTR.
And they put you through Bud's training as a CT?
They put me through special warfare training as a CT, yes. Okay. And I actually went through SEER school with the teams. With, of course, some of the guys, not everybody, because they had air crew and everybody on there, but I went through with 4 of the guys that I was in training with. Okay,
and you can't name any of those guys that you went through.
Yeah, Joe Riffey, okay. Mike Hatch, Chuck Mills.
Okay, listen. You and I both, there's 2 people on this phone that know you're full of shit. That's you and me. This whole CT thing and going to Buds, You weren't even going to Navy or deploying until 1997. And so I'm just going to push off of class 193 because you're not getting any of that right. And this whole boat unit thing. So I know Pete Pouillon. He's something. I think you were assigned over there to Spec War, but this whole CT thing. No, that's not happening. We don't take CTs in there. You don't go. You go through SEAL training, buds, and you graduate, and you are assigned to a SEAL team. SEAL team. 1, 3, 5, whatever it is. You don't go to Naval Security Group. But I believe that because I just did a Phony Navy SEAL of the Week video about some CT guy claiming the same shit that you were doing, this linguist. And I know they're assigned to a team, they deploy, they do all this little stuff with them. But you weren't a SEAL. You never graduated BUDS. Or you'd be able to get that BUDS class right and shit like that. And then when you start spouting off about SWIC training or being assigned to a boat team, that's got nothing to do with SEALs. You want to try any of this shit again?
No, I'm not going to try anything. I mean,
Okay.
I have pictures of the people that I talked about.
You did a deployment with SEAL Team 3. You worked up and you deployed as a Navy SEAL, a trident-wearing Navy SEAL with SEAL Team 3? Yes?
No.
You didn't. I thought you
No.
just said you were assigned to SEAL Team 3.
I was assigned to SEAL Team 3.
But not as a SEAL?
Correct. I was Naval Security Group. I told you I've got photos with Commander Hal. I've got photos with Joe. I'm
sure you do. But this is where the problem is. You're giving out tridents to people that you have not earned. You did not earn that trident. Did you go through SQT? Do you know what SQT is? Just say no.
No.
Okay, it's SEAL qualification training.
Special qualification training, yes.
Yeah. Did you go through that?
I went through the spec war training that they had me go through with the Naval Security Group so I could be deployed with them.
No, I get it, because they do that. They don't care if you're white, black, male, female, anything. If you're deploying overseas with a SEAL team, even who's the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, went through some of that stuff because he was a JAG officer. He was deploying overseas. If something happens, you have to know how to defend yourself, but you're not kicking doors. You're not free-falling in at night rescuing people in Yemen. You're a cryptologist technician. And I get it. I know it. But when you're telling people, like you told me, 193, and you're pulling tridents off your chest, you were never awarded a trident, right? They don't give those for you going through Naval Security Group training and all that. I've had about enough of you. Now, anything you want to help me with? I understand you got these Team 3 flags in your garage. You got a watch. And, you're using slogans of damn few. And these, we just lost 2 SEALs in Somalia that you're stealing the valor from. You're a cryptologist technician in the Navy. You should have been proud of that. Okay, who was your platoon chief?
My platoon chief at that deployment, his name was Joe Riffey.
Oh, we're back on the Riffey thing. How about the other one? Let's go to 3 Alpha.
I don't remember 3 Alpha. I remember Lieutenant Commander Hal, who was the lieutenant commander in charge. Mm-hmm. He's the one that basically...
How do you spell Riffey anyhow? R-I-F-F something?
Sir, I don't mean any...
R-I-F-F. Riffey. Is it R-I-F-F something?
R-I-F-F-E-Y.
No, the only guy with a R-I-F-F in it is R-I-F-F-E, John Riffey. He was in World War II. He was assigned to UDT-5 in World War II. So I don't even know where this Riffey guy is coming from here, but I don't see anything like that.
You know,
Was he a special boat unit guy or something?
Yep, he was with 12.
Well,
Delta.
why are you
That's correct.
why are you doing this Team 3 with these boat unit guys? I'll tell you, I'll check the SWIC database. We don't do that shit. So you're just digging yourself in.
No, I'm not trying to dig myself in. I'm telling you my deployments and who I deployed with. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Well, no. I don't even see any like that in the SWIC database here either. So you're not a SEAL. Are you? Dude, are you entitled to wear that SEAL trident?
No.
No. Did you just say no?
I served, sir.
You told Eric you were a Navy SEAL. You told his son. You pulled a SEAL trident off of your whatever, wearing around, walking around town like the cock of the walk. I understand you're doing a lot with disabled veterans and all these other things up there, and you're touting on the internet. I saw that. You're also listed up on Warlords as a phony Navy SEAL. So somebody's had a run-in with you before, and I'm looking at the list of names up there, and I recognize about every other one because I'm the one that outed them. So you've obviously been telling this shit for a long time, Vernon, and you can go by Cletus all you want on that the internet, and it's not going to get you away from that. You were never a SEAL. I know you were probably a cryptologist technician in the Navy. I get your records real quick, but yeah, you need to knock that shit off. And if your wife and son believe you to be a SEAL, man, you've really got some issues, dude. You know that? All these phonies tell the wrong story to the wrong guy. In this case, it was told to a guy's son. And the son contacted me for verification of this guy, and I told him, next thing I know, Dad's on the line with me. And explains that this guy has been telling these tear-jerking stories for years to his entire family, up them all in tears. Yemen, the president calling him on the radio and telling him to go get him, and all this crazy shit that phonies do. And the dad's upset. And the dad is going to put him on the phone with me. He'd like to get to the bottom of this thing as well. And that's what you just saw happen. What you did not see happen is after the fact that guy had taken his phone. This is how good that phony is. When the guy handed him the phone on speaker, he put it off speaker. So that guy could only, and the son was there, they could only hear the one-sided conversation of him giggling like a little schoolgirl, naming all these names. He had no idea what was going on. He sat there patiently for 20 minutes listening to this. That's how that phony rolls. When we were done, I went back and started compiling, information about this guy, and I reread his email, the father, where he had said he's already been posted up since 2011 on a site called Watchlords as a phony. And that got me scratching my head. And I got on that site, I saw his name, and I recognized all those guys up there. I'm the guy that's out, all of them. And I contacted Mary at POW Network and said, "What did I verify this guy before? Because I can't keep up with some of these guys. I mean, the names are just too much." And she said, "Yeah, you did. You did it for a police officer before, and yeah, I have his records." I didn't know that on the phone. Turns out, dumb shit is a CT in the Navy, a cryptologist technician. Cryptology technicians are eavesdroppers. They listen to sensitive equipment, little things, tape in the middle of their glasses. They're just geeky guys. So as soon as that guy mentions the name Pullion, I knew exactly. That's a very uncommon name. I knew Pete Pullion. He's a behemoth of a man, a SEAL. How did you get that? How you can do that any different ways of spelling. There's hows and there's riffies and all this other stuff in there. But Pullion, how? That's where the light went on. You have associated yourself somehow in all this. And how Pullion's name come out of it? He's sending me all this paperwork. This guy is so paranoid about what I'm going to do about this. And Pete Pullion's name is on there because when he was in boot camp, he took the SEAL PRT test. And Pete Pullion was the dive motivator up there and signed off on his test. All this other stuff is just association. He did a single deployment on board the USS Juno with the guys. And Juno's an LPD. I did a Mediterranean amphibious ready group. We had SEALs, we had Marine Recon, we had EOD, we had the special boats, and they do an amphibious ready group. The same thing. They're on board those amphibious ships with all these Marines, and that's what he did. He was attached to a Special Boat Unit 12 to enhance their capabilities of perhaps eavesdropping on the boats, getting out there and doing this stuff. He was no kind of door kicker, no anything. They put him through a very basic defense course that they do. Anybody that deploys overseas with a SEAL team or whatever is going to get a few weeks long course. This training is purely defensive and to stay out of our way and to keep yourself safe. You're not a gunfighter. You're not any of that. You are a member of this thing. And that's the thing with technicians. Technicians in SEAL team are there to support SEAL team. It's not technician team 2. It's not support weenie team 2. It is SEAL team 2. SEALs, that's the mission, and you need to help us. And guess what we're going to do in return? We're going to help you. We're going to take very good care of you. We're going to make sure you have a bunch of fun out there. You know, a happy sailor, you know, a whole bit. We're going to show you how to shoot guns, blow stuff. We're going to take you with us and protect you and have a good time with you. And you fucking screw us. You bend us over and you screw us. All paranoid about what I'm going to do. He constantly is emailing me and just giving me this stuff. And it's him and his wife at the Bud's compound. Well, he's not at the Bud's compound. He's outside the wire there with the security guys. And he has a sheriff's badge and his disabled veteran ID. That clown served 2 years, 9 months, and 28 days, and he's running around with a disabled veteran card in there, and I'm sure he's got benefits to go along with all that. And he didn't get hurt in the Navy. And so flashing that badge and that, and he starts talking about all this shit to a knucklehead security guy that let him through the back, or he just walks down the beach from the Hotel Del, and he's in there fucking with guys while they're running the O course, posing with the monuments. He obviously hit the surf, and don't you think for a minute he didn't enlighten his wife to everything that he had done on that O course and how painful it was going through Hell Week right here. And he's so full of shit. And the phonies, technicians have a big problem with them. I have religious phonies. I have phonies that teach guys stuff. But I have real problem with phonies that allow their wives, those closest to them, this bullshit. And so I got his records. I already had them. I wish I'd have known that on the phone. I wish I'd have known that when I had him on there. So digging deep, you just got to dig deep with these guys. You got to really get some the answers out of it. And pretty quickly into this thing, when he mentioned Pete Pouillon's name, I knew there was something more to this. And that's all I was thinking, tech. And boy, if you rewatch this video, you'll see how absolutely spot on I was.